Hey guys, it is 12:24 p.m. right now on October 30th, 2018, and so I was doing some research because I hadn't watched the news the other day about this thing and stuff, and so honestly, to be honest, I don't know if this is considered part of politics or not. I don't think it would be, but it does have to do with crime and stuff, and I've got a lot to say because I'm glad this guy got arrested because he needs to learn his lesson and stuff. And so I'm just gonna read off because on here, I know most of you guys already know about it, and I know my video is gonna be a little bit different today, but I got a lot to say to this dude if he ever happens to watch this video. I don't know if he will, but you never know because, yeah. Anyways, so on here, it says, okay, so, sorry for the thing. So basically, I'm letting you know right now, I'm reading off a website, and it says social media post part of the investigation. I'm not going to read the entire thing. I'm going to read a quote that he has and stuff, and I guess that he filmed himself saying. He said, "I can't sit by and watch my people get slaughtered. Bowers wrote, screw your optics. I'm going in." I'm like, are you kidding me? Aren't you doing the same thing, stupid? You're basically doing the exact same thing without any legitimate proof or evidence against those people. It's like, what do you have against them? It's like, it doesn't, other than, like, supposedly hating them. You shouldn't hate on innocent people that you know nothing about. And so, like, there's another part on here, too, where, again, it's from the website, so I'm going to read a short little paragraph. And so it says, in one post, Bowers claimed Jews were helping transport members of the migrant caravans. He believed that those in the migrant caravans were violent because they were attempting to leave countries that had high levels of violence. And Bowers repeatedly called them invaders. But here's the thing. 1, where is proof and evidence? There is no proof or evidence against them. 2, just because someone comes from a high violent country does not mean that everyone that lives in that country is violent. You are, like, so stupid to think that. Like, no offense or anything, and usually I'm not one to be mean, but still. He is so stupid to think that. Like, you can't go and kill innocent people based off assumptions. It's like, that's like, people don't know how to think things through. Like, seriously? You're basically doing the same thing. Like, you say you can't watch your people get slaughtered, but, like, seriously. It's just stupid. So, here's my point of view and stuff. It doesn't matter what your background, what your religion is, or where you came from. Especially with, like, religion-wise. I know not everyone's religious. I'm honestly, like, I'm part of a religion, but I'm not actually, like, religious. If that makes sense. But I do have a religion. And so, here's the thing. It doesn't matter what kind of religion you have. And it doesn't matter if you disagree with someone else's beliefs from a different religion. But all religions should be respected no matter what. I am, like, not kidding. I am dead serious. It doesn't matter if you disagree with what they believe in. If you disagree, you disagree. That's it. It doesn't matter if you disagree with them. Don't try to change someone's mind about something that you may not know. Like, don't try to, like, act like you know everything about everyone's religions when you might not. So it's like, but in hindsight, like, to be honest, everyone's religion should be respected no matter what they believe in. Like, I have really good examples too. So it's like, one of them is people believe in the Lord and God, while there's other people who don't, and those people are actually called atheists, and some people actually are aware of that term, and an atheist is someone who does not believe in God. And so, and that's completely understandable, but the thing is, we all need to respect each other's opinions and beliefs. And I also know that I already know that there's hundreds and hundreds of people that believe in reincarnation, while there's thousands of others that don't. Like, there's probably thousands of people, I don't even know where from, but there probably are thousands of people from different areas, different countries, that believe in reincarnation while others don't. And honestly, I am one of those people, but it doesn't matter, again, religion-wise, it does not matter what religion we are. And it doesn't matter what our beliefs are, as long as we respect it. That's all we need, is to respect each other's religions, even if we don't agree with their beliefs. And then it's just leave it at that. If you don't agree with it, you don't agree with it. Just don't try to change anyone's mind about it. And so this dude, again, this Bowers guy, killed innocent people basically off assumption, pretty much. Like, where's the proof and evidence? There is no proof, there is no evidence that these people are actually evil or violent. And again, just because they may come from a higher crime country or potentially higher crime state doesn't necessarily mean that they're actually violent. Or like a higher country that has higher violence. And then also, I don't think this ever occurred to him, did it ever occur to you that people are moving out of that area to get away from the violence that's in their country at the moment? People move out of their countries. If there's high levels of violence, then most people move out of their country to get away from violence. They do not want to stay in an area that has high violent and crime rates. So it's like, I don't know how much crime has actually gone on in this particular country, but still, it doesn't matter. You can't kill people based off assumptions that you have no proof or evidence against. So this is one of these things that's very unfortunate, and it's one of the things that easily could have been prevented, but it was due to his own mindset that caused this. It's the way he thought about things, and it's the way he thought about people that he has no knowledge about. Like, you can't assume things. You can't like assume that you actually know everyone about every kind of religion or everyone about every kind of like race or background. You can't assume that. It's like, yeah, there is knowledge that gets put into our mindsets, but you can't assume everything about stuff like that. Like, everyone grows up differently, okay? No matter what your ethnicity. It doesn't matter what your ethnicity, religion, or background is. But people cannot and should not make assumptions based off what they've been told, supposedly, because they're just going to assume that everyone's bad or evil. Like, are you kidding me? No. It's not just due to this. It's even due to racism too. And it's like, that's a really unfortunate thing. It's like, it's gotten a whole lot better, like 100 times better, like more than 100 times better than back then in the, like, I think 1800s it was. And so since it's gotten a whole lot better since then, but it still exists, and that's the sad thing about this right now. It still exists out there. It shouldn't exist. It's like, the thing is, if you don't actually know them on a personal level, like, no one should ever be racist, ever. But if you don't know anyone on a personal level, you can't assume that every person is violent or mean or is like a thief or something. You can't assume things like that based off what you've learned about their background. Like, not everyone's like that. Yes, there's people who grow up differently and stuff, and there are people who have grown up in, like, poor situations and stuff while others haven't, but it's like, there's, and this applies for all ethnicities. So it's like, but I'm gonna point out, this was more towards, like, I would think around the 1700s, 1800s area, where there was debate with, like, those who were white while those were African Americans and stuff, but they had both grown up in poor areas. There had been different areas. There had been different spots where, like, I remember there was, like, one group that actually grew up poor, like the African Americans and stuff, and they also grew up in an area, but then they actually did eventually come together. I don't remember when they came together, but they came together realizing how many similarities each other actually had. So don't make assumptions based off of what you may know from their past experiences, because when you do that, you're basically assuming that every single African American or every single person with a different ethnicity is a bad person, but that's not true at all. There are good people out there. And there's also, yes, of course there's bad people out there and stuff, but it's like, depends on the extent that you use it in. And so it's like, there are good people out there. It doesn't matter where they came from, because it's like, there are African Americans that are super nice and super sweet, and they're not like thieves or anything. They're not violent at all whatsoever. And it's like, at least not that I'm aware of. I will admit, yes, they can be sassy at times, but honestly, that's kind of, in my opinion, that can be funny when they're sassy. So, no offense to any of you guys that are like that, but still. But that's still an issue out here when it shouldn't be. Racism should never be an issue anywhere, but sadly it still exists. But basically, back to the whole Bowers thing, I'm sorry for repeating myself. And so it's just like, he did not think that through, because you're basically doing the same thing. You're basically killing innocent people that, like, you don't even know anything about, it seems like. You did that without thinking that through. Like, are you kidding me? You can't make assumptions like that. It's like, literally, what proof and evidence do you have against them? You had, and you should realize the consequences that came with doing something like that. So, if he's, I don't know if he's actually in jail yet, but I'm glad. If they arrested him, then I'm glad. You need to learn your consequences. You need to have consequences for your actions. So, yeah. Especially when it comes to murder. That's terrible, and that's an incident that could have been prevented. But who knows what he was thinking other than assuming that the Jews were the ones killing everyone else and stuff and coming from a different area, but that's not true at all, because not everyone's like that. Yes, there are some people like that, but not everyone is. And again, like I said, they could have been trying to move out of their country to get away from the violence that's there. Like, if he assumed something like that, then it's like, did that ever occur to you? No, otherwise you would have thought that through more. And lives would have been gone. So, for that reason, I do give my condolences to every family who's lost, like, a son, daughter, husband, wife, anyone, even animals and stuff, and I give my condolences to anyone who got injured throughout that shooting that happened in Pennsylvania. And so, I literally just give my condolences to everyone out there. And so, and most of the time, honestly, I usually don't speak up about topics like this, but this is sad, because it's like, it's another type of shooting, even though it's completely different, it's still another shooting. It's like, school shootings shouldn't happen at all. That's sad. That's not the world anyone should live in. And so that's really sad, because there's been tons of that, and a lot of it in my opinion, a lot of that has to do with their mindset, whether there was an intention or not. Because I remember I watched on the news one time, I think it was like a high school student or something, they like went in and stuff, but I remember there was a time, I forgot which kind of school it was, but I do remember there was a time someone just shot randomly and they didn't have any specific intention. But it's like, you have to realize the consequences of your actions, especially when you murder people. You will, like, most of them do get caught. Most people do get caught and stuff, especially when it involves murder. But that's the thing. You need to get caught and be in jail, specifically for murder, because you're taking someone's life away from them. Like, what if that was your own family you were taking away? You'd be lonely and depressed. You shouldn't do things like that. And so a lot of that stuff has to do with people's mindsets. Oh, and as a reminder, not always, but if you don't eat, I know different places are different, if that makes sense. But if you don't eat for a good amount of time, that can also mess with your mindset. At times. Not always, but it can. So remember to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I'm sorry, I know that was a bit random. So yeah, that's pretty much it for right now. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Bye! Hey guys, it is 6:41 p.m. right now. I am really, really tired. Not tired. Actually, I'm not even tired, to be honest. I'm not even tired right now. Usually I am, but I'm not tired. I don't know why I said that, to be honest. I am just, like, out of it. And I'm printing stuff so I can practice some things, and then I am going to, I'm going to be doing some work on my computer along with other types of work, but I can't specify what it is. So yeah, there's that, and I'm sorry if I'm, like, holding something and waving something around. It's just, like, a little postcard thing in my hand. I don't know why I picked it up. There's my puppy. He's a cute little baby. Yeah, he just put his head down. A cute little baby. I have my battery splashing on me. Cute little baby, cute little baby. Ooh. I think so. I'm just, like, thinking of random topics and stuff, and so basically for tonight's question, because I know like you can't actually have some of these animals as a pet legally. There are some that you can own as a pet legally, while others you can't. And if you could choose any wild animal to have as a pet, which wild animal would you choose? And for me, I would probably choose either a koala or a squirrel, or even, yeah, I know, I have a few, or a dolphin. Like if I had a swimming pool and stuff, or even like if I lived near a lake or something. I don't technically know if a dolphin would be considered a wild animal or not though, but typically I would think wild animals are like lions, cheetahs, and stuff like that. Ooh, or deer. So technically for me, if I could choose any wild animal to have as a pet, it would be either a deer, squirrel, or koala. So please let me know in the comments down below if you could have any wild animal as a pet. Which one would it be? Thank you. See you later. Bye!